welcome back to Hike Oregon. Today I'm going to be doing a review of the Exped SynMat HL Winter sleeping pad. If you have watched my channel at all previously, you will know that I have had a few different sleeping pads. My favorite summer backpacking sleeping pad is the Therm-a-rest Zlite, and that's just a closed cell foam sleeping pad. I absolutely love it. It's super lightweight and it serves the purpose for summer backpacking. However, this year I did start doing some fall backpacking, and so I needed something a little bit warmer. At PCT Days this year, I stopped by the Exped booth and asked them a bunch of questions, told them what I needed out of a sleeping pad and kind of the range of temperatures that I would be backpacking in, and they gave me some suggestions. And then I went home and did my own research on their website and decided on getting this guy. It's the Exped SynMat HL Winter mat, and it looks like this all packed up. So before I get into blowing up the pad and laying on it and doing all of that fun stuff, I wanted to go through some of the specs with you. So the whole mat in its stuff sack and everything else weighs 21.4 ounces. And I know that is a little bit heavy considering a lot of folks like to go ultralight and like to save weight, and I do as well. It is definitely heavier than the Therm-a-rest Neo Air, which is kind of like the go-to for a lot of backpackers. I will say this is heavier partially due to the fact that it has a much higher R value than the Therm-a-rest Neo Air, so it's really not a comparable mat. The Neo Air, I would say, is a 3-season mat. This is definitely a 4-season sleeping pad. The Neo Air has a R value of 3.2, and if you do get the women's version, it's 3.9, whereas this has an R value of 5. So let's pull out what is in here. So just the mat, if you take it out of its little stuff sack, this thing weighs 18 ounces just by itself. So if you didn't want to take anything else that it comes with and just take the mat in your backpack, it would weigh 18 ounces. And then it does come with a blow-up sack. They actually call it a schnozzle pump bag, which I think is hilarious. So the schnozzle pump bag looks like this. It is huge, and you could actually use this as a dry bag as well if you wanted to. And the schnozzle pump sack weighs 2 ounces, so it's actually pretty lightweight, especially for having clips and this little plastic thing that goes onto the sleeping pad. And then it does come with the stuff sack, which is really nice, so you don't have all these components all over your backpack. And it does come with a repair kit as well. The repair kit is kind of like in its own little pouch in the bag, and that weighs a total of 1.4 ounces with the repair kit and everything like that. So that everything totals to 21.4 ounces. So this mat is a tapered design, and the fabric on here is actually really nice and soft, and it's a 20 denier fabric. It's super soft. It has kind of this like honeycomb design on it. And then the microfiber insulation that is in the mat is 9 centimeters thick, which is awesome. It is a super, super warm sleeping mat, and I have absolutely loved it so far. So let's get into blowing it up. I do want to show you how to blow it up with the schnozzle pump sack. I thought it was a little awkward, honestly. I wish I could just blow it up with my mouth, but it is just not good, especially if you are in a winter setting. Any humidity from your breath that gets into the mat will compromise the insulation factor. So that's why I did choose to use the schnozzle pump sack. I do blow up the last few breaths with my mouth. The schnozzle pump sack only fills it so far, so I do like to make it really full and blow up, like, I would say maybe a breath and a half with my mouth. It just makes it nice and poofy. So when you unpack it, you really want to make sure that it's rolled out completely and then put it on the ground. So here is the pump nozzle. You do pull it out like that. It does have kind of a two-stop system, which is really nice for if this accidentally comes undone, the air doesn't just pour out of this. So then you take the schnozzle pump sack and then you just attach the two like this. Okay, so now these two are attached really strongly, and then you have to work with this bag, which is kind of awkward. So you basically have to fill this bag with air while it is attached to this, which is, again, super awkward and a little bit hard to do, but you only need like 3 or 4 of these bags full of air to actually fill up the entire mat. I basically just like go like this, and then, I mean, it doesn't seem full, but then you just roll it up. Okay, and then you gotta do it again. It takes a lot longer than doing it with your mouth, but it's just so much better for the mat. So if there's wind at your campsite, this actually won't take very long. Okay, so it is full, but it's not stuffed. So I can't actually press this any further, but I could put a little more air in with my mouth. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Okay, so this is the mat. It is really nice and blown up. I really enjoy this mat a lot. It's really, really, really comfortable. I think what I like most about it is that the baffles are long. So what I didn't like about the Therm-a-rest Neo Air was that I would tend to slide off the mat. Also a much more slippery material, and with me being in the sleeping bag, I would just slide right off the mat. This design is really nice. You kind of get stuck in these grooves, like your arms kind of get stuck in these grooves, and you don't slide anywhere, you don't go anywhere. This material is also a little more grippy, so that's really nice. It doesn't make as much noise as the Neo Air as well. If you know anything about the Neo Air, it sounds like a chip bag. It's really crinkly and just quite annoying. I honestly couldn't sleep on it. Every time I moved around, it is just so loud. So this is super, super comfortable. I have loved this mat, and it comes in 3 different sizes: a regular, a wide, and a wide long, I think. I will put all of that information below as well. So I got a wide because I knew my experience with the Neo Air, I really didn't like how narrow it was. The long version is a little bit heavier, and I think it adds about 4 to 5 inches, which I don't need. I'm only 5'5", so I don't need extra length, but I did like the extra width. As you can see here, my arms are in these grooves, and I have about, I would say, 3 inches on each side, which is great for me. And it's just overall so comfortable. The thickness is really nice. It's super warm. I was never cold with this. The length is good for me as well. I would say I have about 4 inches at the bottom. So that kind of gives you an idea of the size of it. It's super, super great. I just love this sleeping mat. So here is the mat from the top. It goes all the way down. It is a tapered design, meaning that it is less wide the further down it goes, because obviously your feet are down there and you don't need as much room as you do up here where your shoulders are. So this mat does go down to 0 degrees Fahrenheit, which is absolutely amazing. And again, it is an R rating of 5. So you can do winter camping with this, you can do fall camping with this. pretty much any sort of camping that you want to do. Probably not like mountaineering camping. It probably gets a little bit colder than 0 degrees up at really high elevations, but it is a really good mat just for your standard winter overnight. So if you go to the Exped website, it is a little bit overwhelming because they have so many options. Your best bet with Exped is to know ahead of time what you are looking for in terms of R value and length and width and that kind of thing. Those were my 2 specifications. I would like a wide version. I would like to be able to have this R rating. Now Exped does have mats that go up to R rating of 10. So if you are into mountaineering, Exped is the company to go with. They are going to be a little heavier because of the ability to backpack in all 4 seasons. This is by no means like an ultralight system, but again, when you are winter or even late fall backpacking, you're probably not thinking about being super ultralight. Just because you do have extra clothing, you're gonna have extra gear to make sure that you are warm and safe. A lot of people don't really understand that it doesn't really matter the temperature rating of your sleeping bag if you don't have a warm enough mat. I, for example, was very cold in my 5-degree Z-Packs down sleeping bag when I tried to camp in colder weather on my Zlite closed cell foam sleeping pad, which is I think an R rating of 1.5. So that is hardly anything, and I was very cold and I was like, why am I cold? My sleeping bag is so warm. But it doesn't matter, that heat just escapes. Now I was toasty warm in below 30-degree nights on the Exped with my 5-degree bag, and I assure you I would be toasty warm in much colder conditions with that kind of setup. If you are looking to do some winter backpacking this year, definitely check out Exped. I absolutely love this mat. I highly recommend it. And again, you can get it in regular, wide, and long versions, which is absolutely amazing. And I did forget to mention the price. This in wide is $189. So thank you guys so much for watching this review of the Exped SynMat HL Winter sleeping pad. If you have any questions about the sleeping mat, go ahead and comment below. I would love to answer any questions that you might have. If you'd like to follow me over on Instagram, I will put that right here. That is where I share all of my photos from backpacking trips that I did this summer, as well as all of my weekend adventures that I do throughout the year. And if you're interested in hiking and backpacking here in this amazing state of Oregon, check out my website, hikeoregon.net, where you'll find all of that information. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you on the next adventure.